Welcome to Cortico. My name is Alfred, and today we're going to do a short run through of our patient engagement and workflow automation tool for Accuro EMR. So to start, we'll go through the online booking and see what the patient sees as they're booking in before we go into Accuro. Then we will interact with some of the Cortico features integrated into Accuro that helps to improve workflows and reduce tedious admin tasks. For this demonstration, we'll start with the online booking. All we need to do to get started is to link the patients to the Cortico booking website here. And this can be done by including a link to Cortico on your existing website. Optionally, this can be part of your website domain. We'll continue the demo by clicking Book Now. You can see all the different appointments that we have available through all the workflows here. And through each of these workflows, you can control what providers are included in each appointment type. You can also control what kind of appointment methods are offered, like in-clinic, video, or phone visits, and even how far out patients are allowed to book. For now, we'll just select Family Doctor so we can see how patients can book into this workflow. Here are some customizable pop-ups that can be used to provide guidance on how the patient should book in. We'll proceed by agreeing to this. For the patient to get started, they enter their health card number and date of birth, which is verified against your EMR records. Alternatively, if you do accept patients that don't have a health card, we can gather an email and date of birth instead. All of this information is accessible to the patient, and we chose this rather than an email and password just so that they didn't have to create another account, which they might forget in the future. So we'll accept the default clinic agreement and proceed. If you have your own agreement and consent documentation, it can be replaced with the default one here. Continuing on with the demo, we'll just click to proceed. On this screen, the patient has the ability to edit any of their contact information. Next, they can choose a reason for visit with this drop-down. Next, they can also complete any forms presented to the patient based on their previous answers or forms that are specific to this workflow. Here, we have a short allergy form with a simple yes or no question that can have follow-up questions based on the previous response. But this can really be any form you like and even can be quite lengthy if you do want to gather a lot of information from the patient at this time. But for now, we will just proceed. Now we can find a convenient time to book an appointment. This workflow allows for in-clinic, video, and phone options, so we'll go ahead with a video call. We're just going to select a time for later this week, and we'll book for later today. On this last page, we do have a blank page that you can put things like a final page pop-up or maybe even like a COVID questionnaire if you want to gather some symptoms before the patient comes into the clinic. Otherwise, the patient can click through when they're ready to proceed and finish the booking. So from here, we have the final page where the patient can review any details of their appointment. They can go to the waiting room if they need to upload some photos or documents. They can add the appointment to a calendar of their choice. Patients even have the option to view some training videos on Cortico or leave any feedback. Happy feedback links to your Google reviews, and unhappy doesn't touch your reviews at all. The feedback can be triaged and handled directly by the clinic. The patient will now get an email confirmation of their appointment, and automated email and SMS reminders will be sent as the appointment date gets closer. Now let's go to Accuro EMR so we can see how the appointment is coming in. So we can see in the afternoon that we have the appointment that we just booked. Clicking into the appointment, we see the appointment date, the time, and the duration, all of which are controlled by the clinic for this specific workflow. The time that was selected by the patient was only made visible to the patient based on logical constraints set out by the clinic. The length or duration of the visit is controlled by the clinic and can vary based on the workflow type. On the right side, we have the appointment type and the reason for visit. The reason was provided by the patient, and the type is set by the workflow that the patient selected. Under the notes, we also have some information from Cortico, such as, is it a video call, phone call, or maybe an in-clinic appointment? We also include in the notes if it was booked by Cortico, or maybe it was manually booked by a staff member at the clinic. Coming back out, we're going to take a look at the Cortico CDS link at the bottom, which will allow us to further interact with this appointment in Accuro. So this CDS link enables some additional features for Accuro that you can access through here, such as the request to book. This request to book is useful if you'd like to send this patient a unique booking link to control even more constraints specific to this patient, such as presetting a booking range for the future. Next, we have an invoices feature in case you want this patient to make a payment tied to an appointment or to receive documents like sick notes. Next, we have tasks. You can create tasks for the patients to upload a photo or document, or even fill out a form which is then automatically added into the EMR. And then down below, we have the appointments and event audit log. So if you want to track the patient's progress throughout the booking process or any reminders they received, you have the ability to see that information here. Let's now take a look at the bottom right here, where you can see we have the Cortico icon in the corner. This is going to be a place where you can instantly message the patient over email or SMS. In this case, if we just take a look at this in more detail, we can see we can choose the patient's email or the phone number that they have on file. We can see the subject line as well as the message text that the doctor can enter down below. A message can be created from scratch or use the canned templates to insert any text that is desired into the field. We do also have the ability to support uploading documents from a couple of different sections. So either the patient's virtual chart if they have a document that has a type set to document or letters, or you can also attach local files from the computer. Before sending this message out, you do also have the ability to enable copying the message to the patient notes, which is set to true by default. With the message prepared, you can send this message in a couple different ways, including a one-way send where the patient cannot reply, but can view the message directly in their email inbox. This one's considered our unsecure send. We have the secure send option where it's again one way, but the patient needs to verify their health card and date of birth before viewing the message and whatever is attached to the message. Then we have an option for a two-way send and allow replies to the Cortico Messenger. The patient can respond back by accessing a link they receive in their email. Then they'll be able to use that to have a back and forth message with their doctor through the two-way messaging interface, which would appear here along with previous conversations. But yeah, for now, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the day sheet as well as the reminder email and the photo upload. So to go to the day sheet for this one patient for the appointment they have today, we'll be able to see some additional features they can interact with here to follow up with the patient. Here, you can manually trigger an email appointment reminder to the patient. You can trigger an SMS appointment. You can request a patient to fill out a form, kind of like what we did with the allergy one while the patients were booking in, or any other forms that you have set up inside Cortico. You can also request the patient to upload a photo or document, which goes into the EMR. Down below, you can also review all the details of the appointment again. And you can also see the patient tasks that you have created for the patient, like if they fill out their allergy history, or any other forms during booking. So now we'll just take a look at the reminder email, which I'll pull over from my other screen here. In here, we have an example of a reminder with all the provider's details and the time that the patient booked in. The patient can go into the portal where they can do things like confirm or cancel their appointment, access upcoming and previous appointments, upload photos or documents, or fill out any outstanding forms. Then further down in the email, there is a customizable section that can be included to advise the patient about their appointment. So coming into the portal, you'll see an interface like this where they can manage their reminders in the appointment itself. They can review any instructions before they come in. Then we can upload a photo or document directly back to the EMR. So in this case, if we choose to upload a photo as a patient, we'll select a photo from our local device like this, and this will go directly back to the clinic. So if we just go back into the EMR for this patient and go to their patient summary, you can see under the virtual chart, we have a bunch of different documents. We can see the photo that the patient uploaded back, as well as any other documents or forms filled out by the patient. We store anything that the patient sends directly into the EMR so that doctors and staff can review it at any time. This saves quite a bit of time because you no longer need to download the file from your clinic email to your local computer before re-uploading it back into Accuro. So that's a quick summary of how Cortico's patient engagement and workflow automation tool works for Accuro EMR. There are a lot more features we can share, and if you want to dive deeper into Cortico's integration with Accuro, please book a one-on-one demonstration with us at www.cortico.health. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter to stay tuned on our future updates. I'm Alfred, and I'll see you next time.